This is Nasha Kasha, Ukrainian Almanac, 28 minutes of stories about Ukrainian life. Nasha Kasha comes to you from Radio Western in London, Ontario, Canada. It's heard on 13 university and community radio stations in 8 provinces from Newfoundland to British Columbia. Вітаю вас, дорогі слухачі. Welcome. This is episode 145. This week I'll report on 4 students and 1 teacher as they prepare for and perform at a recital, singing in a language that most only recently encountered. To begin at the beginning, you need to know about the Ukrainian Art Song project. It's the initiative of bass baritone and artistic director Pavlo Hunka. He aims to record and to publish 1,000 art songs by 26 of Ukraine's greatest composers: Stitsenko, Stepovey, Lysenko, Barvinsky, Ludkevich, Sichinsky, Turkevich. Never heard of them? You're not alone. But the Art Song project aims to change that. Since 2004, more than 350 art songs have been released. The musical scores are published on the UASP website, they are available for download, and they are free. In August, there's the Ukrainian Art Song Institute, held in partnership with the Royal Conservatory of Music in Toronto. Douglas Graham, who you are about to meet, has attended that institute. This story is about his musical and his very personal journey, and the journeys of his friends and collaborators at Western University.
Hello there.
Hello, good morning.
Nice to see you. We're waiting for our other person to arrive.
I'm Stefan.
Stefan.
Nice to meet you. And I'm Douglas. Hey,
Okay.
perfect time.
Hello.
Good timing, James. My name is Douglas Graham. I'm a second-year Master of Music student in voice performance studying under Ted Berg here at Western University. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta. I pretty much lived there my whole life up until moving out here to do my master's. My father, he's a financial planner and accountant. My mother passed away in November of 2017 from breast cancer.
I'm sorry about your mom.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a very interesting time because I had moved out here and we had been told Mom was very open with us when she first told us about what her diagnosis was going to be, that she had been moved up to stage 4. And I remember people asking me, oh, you're about to do all these auditions for master's programs that might take you away from Edmonton. Is that going to bother you? And I said, it will bother me, yes, but I know someone that it's going to bother more if I don't actually do this, and that's going to be my mom. So I am going to continue doing this because she would be very upset if I didn't. An older brother on an acreage about 30-40 minutes outside of Edmonton with his family. He has 4 kids. I have a middle sibling. They're gender non-conforming. They came out about 3-4 years ago. So they were my sister, but now they're just my sibling. Basically, what it came down to is that they said, I feel more comfortable now just saying that I am neither male or female because I don't really identify as either.
I'm not going to dwell on that because that isn't really the focus, and that's quite private. What I'm drilling down to is that you're learning a new language here, but you're also learning a new lexicon very personally within your family ranks.
Yes. Well, every day we continue learning new things.
And you know, the thing about life is you don't always have to understand. You just have to love and embrace, sometimes.
That's a lesson that I've had to learn when it comes to performing and just being an artist, is that I always want to understand things as much as I can, because I seem to feel personally that the more I understand, the more I can give. And then you find out, well, actually with a lot of things, there is no right, there is no wrong, there's no this is absolutely the correct way. And you just kind of find out that there is a bit of a spectrum that you just kind of figure it out.
Why are you the driving force behind this Ukrainian Art Song? Where did that come from?
I attended the King's University in Edmonton, Alberta, and that has a very big Ukrainian connection, mainly through Dr. Melanie Turgeon. She is the main director there for choirs. So when I got into the undergrad program there, and I went and I auditioned and I got into the chamber choir, and I started working with Melanie quite a bit. That is my main connection to Ukrainian culture, Ukrainian art song.
How did it come to London, the project? How did it land here at this Faculty of Music?
I had been interested in performing Ukrainian art songs ever since Melanie told me about the project back in, I guess this would have been 2014, 2015. I was getting ready to put on my own recitals as part of my undergrad requirements. And she had said, if you really enjoy Slavic music, as you seem to, because you keep coming to rehearsals, you keep asking me for more information on things like that, you come to the Basilica and take part in divine liturgies and things like that, you are really taking to being a part of the Ukrainian community for someone who, has no Ukrainian background whatsoever. So I think that you would love to do Ukrainian art songs. And I said, absolutely, I would love to do that. I ended up doing it here because when I was speaking with, when I worked with Elena back in October, I said to her, you know what? Since we're both here and we both have a huge stake in Ukrainian Art Song, let's put on a recital. I have a church that I work at, and I can probably get it for an afternoon and we can put on a recital. And that was when she said, oh, that's great. I have all these other students that I'm teaching art song. And I said, hey, that's a great idea. We can get everybody involved in this. We can kind of make it like an extension of what they do at the Ukrainian Art Song Project. It will take its place in the art song repertoire in the same way that German lied or French melody, Russian, Hungarian, etc.
So if you're listening, Melanie Turgeon, you've done a good job.
James Smith. I'm a recent graduate from the master's degree program here at Western University, and I am originally from Des Moines, Iowa. I came here to Western to really pursue a music degree, and I found out about Western through Ted Berg, who actually I took some lessons with at a summer program in Italy, and he said, hey, you're not too bad. Why don't you come check out this program here at Western? And I came and toured the place, and I found that it has some of the best music faculty in all of North America. So I just said, hey, let's do it and go to Canada. And I went here and I love it here and I don't want to leave.
Help me understand this next step to your career and how the building blocks can be achieved here at this academic institution?
The next part of my career is really something that is going to be performance-based and education-based. So really a part of it is getting, here at Western, I've had so many opportunities to be a part of different performances, different recitals, as well as just getting to work with the music faculty here. They're incredibly knowledgeable, as well as just being incredibly kind and nurturing.
Am I understanding you want to teach?
Yes, I love to teach. What I would really love to pursue is a 50-50 of teaching and performing. So really would like to do teaching most of the year, but then over the summer and then other different points of the year leaving for performance purposes.
Why don't you come to Western? You're not bad. Is that traditional that you kind of downplay? You don't over.
I'm a very modest person myself. I personally, I know that I try to fight this concept that tenors are very, they're divos, they're very big-headed people, because tenors often are the ones who, get the big shining moment on stage.
But tell me about that moment where you walk into a room, whether it's at a party and you're asked to sing, or the 100th time by your family, or with guests that haven't seen you before, or in a concert hall, and you open your mouth and you watch people's pupils expand and their eyes go wide.
It's what happens when you're a performer and you go to an event that people really love seeing something that is different from the norm. I come from a family where we don't have any classical music training at all. So really, I kind of fell into music through an oral learning, so learning by ear. And then through high school, I really started taking voice lessons, and someone told me, this is something that you should try to pursue. You have the talents to make something like this happen.
Art Song, the Ukrainian aspect, how did you buy into it? How did you find out about it?
My first experience with Ukrainian Art Song was watching Olena perform a recital. I believe that was 2 years back. She did a recital of all Ukrainian Art Song, and I just watched it, and I was in love. The music was absolutely incredible. The language was so beautiful, and I couldn't get enough of it. So I started listening to more Ukrainian Art Song when I could. It's just so emotional and so impactful, and while still being simple in a way that it's not trying to be something else. It has some tinges of sadness to it, but it's still full of hope.
What unique challenges do you have singing in Ukrainian compared to, say, Italian or French?
Honestly, it's more of a grammatical thing for me, and just understanding that there's not going to be connecting words that I would be used to seeing them as we have in Latin-based languages. Conjunction words and things like that kind of aren't...
Give me an example.
More clusters of consonants than I'm used to there being. There's a lot fewer vowels.
So there are certain vowels that you do not find in Italian or Latin-based languages. It's really a different sound and a different mouth shape than we're used to making. So when you're always used to these cookie-cutter vowels in all the other languages,
such as
a oo or an ah or an e, to get something that's a little bit more in the middle, this is a little... It feels so strange. That's that vowel right there. D is a very different vowel sound to make, but once you get it, it feels right. So otherwise, I'm very lucky to have had Olena as the coach for this, because I attribute her to the reason why I've been picking this up so quickly. She is an amazing coach, and she's really good at just simplifying this in a way that is applicable to everyone.
Hi, my name is Olena Bratishko. I'm Ukrainian. I'm from Ukraine, from Бердичів, Житомирська область. It's in the north part of Ukraine.
Ваша родина на Україні велика?
Olena says she has no one left living in Ukraine.
Мати померла 2 роки тому, і вона...
Her mother died 2 years ago in Milwaukee.
І мій батько в США.
My father lives there with my brother who has his American citizenship.
Американський. І вони переїхали туди 3 роки тому. Родина мого чоловіка...
Now my husband's family, they live in Ukraine. We were married in 2009. He's an engineer.
Engineer. I love collaborating with singers the most and instrumentalists. Yeah, I got my bachelor's in piano performance, so I was a solo pianist for a little while, but I find more joy collaborating with somebody else on stage. Plus, what I do here with Ukrainian songs, I also coach singers, Ukrainian.
You said you specialize in diction. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes,
So what you were just teaching them,
Yeah, one of my areas is diction. Yes, I'm a freelance vocal coach, language.
and this is a master's that you've completed, yes?
No, it's a DMA, PhD. Yeah, there was a defense already. Yep, I'm getting my diploma. Actually, on Wednesday.
This Wednesday?
This Wednesday, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Great.
So today you're Olena, and
Yeah.
during the concert you'll be Pani Doktor.
Так. Can we do from 36? Yeah. So the diction колиб не схитнувся, right? Those A that James were talking about. I need more A. Sometimes it's E, sometimes it's A. Just make sure that it's an A, right? And then we need to align the adagio section a little bit.
So would you like me to leave it in the Rallentando there in measure 42? So really set it up there, and then once we get to 43, that is the set tempo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's only voice.
What's a Rallentando?
A Rallentando is when you take the music and you start to kind of pull it back a little bit. It's kind of like a retardando, which is a similar concept.
It's a more extreme.
It's more extreme
Yeah.
pullback. So it's really, you take something and goes da 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 da. That's kind of the concept of a Rallentando, just a gradual slowing down when you're coming to an important mark or important moment in the music to really give it that gravitas.
Wonderful. Yeah, that was really well, right?
All right, yeah, I like that.
Beautiful Rallentando.
Well, thank you. We come to you from CHRW 94.9 FM in London, Ontario, Canada. Nasha Kasha is also heard on CHMR 93.5 FM in St. John's, Newfoundland, on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax, on Local 107.3 FM in St. John, New Brunswick, on CJLO 1690 AM in Montreal, on CFRC 101.9 FM in Kingston, on CFMU 93.3 FM in Hamilton, CKMS 102.7 FM in Kitchener-Waterloo, on CKLU 96.7 FM in Sudbury, on CILU 102.7 FM in Thunder Bay, on 101.5 UMFM in Winnipeg, on CFMQ 98.1 FM in Hudson Bay, Saskatchewan, and on 101.7 CIVL FM in Abbotsford, British Columbia. Nasha Kasha is also a podcast. Subscribe for free at Apple iTunes and at many other podcast providers. The recital for which Douglas, James, and Olena were rehearsing took place March 2nd at Metropolitan United Church across from London City Hall. Thank you to all of the participants who let me record their performances and rehearsal session. You're listening to Carnatic music from India, performer Rajesh Vaidya. I play it because it, along with Hindustani music, is ancestral for my next two guests, who you're about to hear sing in flawless Ukrainian.
Hi, my name is Akshaya Lakshmi, and I'm from Fort McMurray, Alberta, so it's a bit of a ways from Western. It was really exciting to work on Ukrainian art songs, exciting to learn a new language and delve into the Ukrainian culture. While preparing, it was very nerve-wracking. It was definitely challenging.
What inspired you back in Fort McMurray to sing, to take it up as an academic pursuit?
Well, as a young child, I was always interested in the arts, so my parents enrolled me in a bunch of different things, but I actually started out in dance, and in school, through the music program, I got into musical theater, and I loved the music program at my elementary school and junior high, and I started doing band, and I did music all throughout my schooling, and later into high school, I got into vocal lessons, and at university, I'm still doing that.
Which year are you in?
I'm in third year, but I'm not in music. I'm in science, but I'm still continuing music as a minor, and I still want to have that part in my life.
Did you know your fellow Albertan Douglas before coming here?
I did not. I just realized now that he's from Edmonton after reading the bios.
I think you have something in common. Lovely,
Yes,
lovely
of
having
course.
Hi there, my name is Mihika Jog, and I am in second year doing a double major at Western in biology and music. I was born here in London, but both of my parents are from India.
Both of you don't have music as your primary major. Do I have that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
What do you find in music? Is there some commonality, or am I reaching a conclusion that isn't there?
I'm not sure how Akshaya feels. Do you want to go first?
I think for me, it's a really good way to release like my creative side, and it's not like the analytical part that I have to focus on. Like I can creatively express myself, and it's a good release from everything too.
Yes, I definitely find that music is a good release for me, a way to work on different skills. I know with science, you're sitting a lot and you're memorizing and you're trying to do the very strict practical things, but with music, you get to explore that creative side, and you get to, sure, you're not sitting down and memorizing equations, but you also get to be expressive, and there's so many different things that you can work on.
So the quantitative seeker seeks the qualitative.
Yes, you could say that, yes.
My parents are from India, so.
So in Indian culture, is there the same kind of nuance and feeling and breadth of music and concern?
In India, music is a huge part of their lives. There's always music playing. They have their classical Indian music. There's primarily two types. So there's Carnatic music and Hindustani music, depending on which region of India you live in. And a lot of those pieces, they're all sacred pieces, or they're based on religious beliefs.
Yes, I'd agree with Akshaya there. There are quite a few pieces that cover, in Indian music, cover maybe other topics, but there's definitely a lot of religious music, and you'll find that nowadays in Bollywood, the songs are becoming much different. I don't know how Akshaya feels. I personally am a fan of the older music. I feel that it has a little bit more depth to it.
Yeah, I definitely also lean more towards the older Bollywood music, but that's also very different than like the classical music in India.
We're all the richer for you being interested in this kind of music, and may your singing endeavors carry you far. Thank you very much for talking.
Thank you so much. Water flows through the valley among the trees. Ducks are splashing.
A girl is singing. Her parents conspire to find who she will win.
Church
you everyone for coming and coming out to experience, for some of you, something brand new. I'm glad to share the stage with so many others who are like me. We're not Ukrainian whatsoever, but we got dragged into it in one form or another, and we're so happy that we did. So I would like to invite everyone back up. We have one last piece for you.
I'd like to acknowledge that baritone Felix Stuckman partook in the recital and sang in the finale, along with Douglas Graham, James Smith, Akshaya Lakshmi, and Mihika Jog. Olena Bratishko, piano. Partial funding for Nasha Kasha comes from the Taras Shevchenko Foundation and the Ukrainian Credit Union. I'm your reporter Stefan Andrusiak, back in a week, God willing. До милої зустрічі за тиждень часу, дорогі слухачі.